So, you've decided that you want to go to grad school for some reason, and you realize you're going to take the GRE. Whew. If you're overwhelmed, I totally get you. In this video, I'm going to break down everything you need to know about the structure of the GRE and how to prepare for it. The biggest thing to know is that a lot of the times you're going to be asked to read between the lines and draw conclusions based on a combination of the existing knowledge you have and the information on your page. When we're talking about the format, you have 3 different sections. The first one is going to be the analytical writing, and then you'll see a mix of verbal and quantitative reasoning. The writing section always comes first. After that, you have no idea. Keep in mind that these sections are adaptive, which means that how well you do on the first section of the verbal reasoning is going to affect the questions that you see on the second section. This isn't particularly important for you, but just know that if your questions get harder, that's actually a really good thing, and most likely you're going to get a higher score. With the analytical writing section, the main idea is that they're trying to test your ability to make an argument. Know that ETS, the company that makes the GRE, actually has a complete list of all the prompts that you could possibly see on your test. It is impossible, unless you're spending 1,000 hours studying, to go through every single prompt and prepare for it. But if you scroll through it, you'll get a really good idea of the type of question that it might be. I've done a little bit of analysis on how many prompts of each theme there are, and if you're interested in seeing that resource, you'll see the link to it down below. Secondly, we'll have the verbal section. Now, there are 3 main types of questions that you'll see on here. The first one will be text completion. Most of the time, you're going to be looking for the correct vocabulary word to fill in the blank. You'll also see sentence equivalence, which is really similar to text completion, except that your main goal will be to choose multiple answers that could possibly fit into that blank and make sense. And then we have the classic reading comprehension. You'll see anything from a really short 2 to 3 sentence paragraph to a full-length excerpt of a paper. The important thing to know here is that the verbal reasoning section is testing your ability to understand and interpret ideas the way that they're said. You can ask yourself questions like, what's the angle here? What is the author trying to say? And what is the author trying to imply? Make sure you know the difference between those 2 things. And you want to know the context of a sentence to inform you on how to understand everything. Now, note that when it comes to verbal, vocabulary is going to be incredibly important. Knowing what the words are that are being used is going to serve as the foundation for answering these questions, but knowing those words themselves will not be enough. Make sure that you're working on your interpretation skills and skills like figuring out the main idea, what's being implied versus what is actually being said. The last section that you'll see is the quantitative reasoning or math section. You'll see 3 main types of questions, and oftentimes they're separated into 4. But for the quantitative comparison questions, these typically don't require a lot of math. They're a relatively unique type of question, but you're just comparing the values of 2 different things. You also have the classic multiple choice, and a lot of these will be single multiple choice answers, but you'll see multiple choice questions as well. Lastly, you'll see numeric entry, which means that you have to input an actual number. This doesn't necessarily mean that those questions are going to be harder. It just means that you're going to have to come up with a number yourself. The good thing about these math questions is most of the time you're not going to be doing a lot of multiplying and dividing and working out all of these numbers. The con of that is that most of the questions are going to be concept-based. You're going to have to think about math in a slightly different way than most of your classes. You want to get more comfortable with working in abstract terms, and you can see, for example, this comparison question that forces you to do that a little bit. When you're looking at quant, it's much more important to understand the concept and the reasoning behind a specific question than it it is to be able to actually work through the details themselves. One of the really nice things about the GRE is that there are a ton of resources out there. I'll leave a link to some of them in the description down below, but definitely make sure that you're focusing in on the ETS official resources. Those are going to be your best bet for getting the correct difficulty, the type of vocabulary that you're going to see, and making sure that you're up to date with the most current trends and types of questions that are going to show up. If you're interested in working with me as a private tutor, I meet with people for free for absolutely no obligation. You can find more information about that in the description as well. Good luck on your test. Check out what my student Josh had to say about working with me. Visit my website or email me at alicechengre@gmail.com to learn more.